guys, welcome back to another episode of the Wholesome Life podcast. I'm here with Jaclyn Braund, a beautiful woman who I've met in my life. We first met on the Esplanade, playing together, supporting one another, lifting each other up, doing acro yoga. And the more that I get to know this woman, the more inspiring I find her, the more amazing she is. And she's just on this incredible life journey, and we'll get to share a little bit with you today. She's done many things in her life. She's just recently got back from one-on-one personal life coach with an incredible musician, Sunny Ray. She's recently written a beautiful book called Blank Canvas, all about discovering your soul purpose in your life, and gives you some great practical tips and tools and meditations on how to discover this. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here and opening up the conversation.
Pleasure to be invited.
And you're also a kinesiologist. You just gave me this incredible kinesiology therapy, which is my first experience, this muscle testing experience where it really taps into your what's going on in your heart and your body's reactions to a lot of deep subconscious stuff. So it was really eye-opening for me and a totally new experience. But I feel like in that little short 30-minute session, I got a lot out of it actually. Yeah, it was really incredible. So thank you so much for that. What would you share around your background of yourself?
So I spent 10 years as a paramedic. Wow. And in that time, I really felt like I had a great purpose in the community. I was really active. I was training volunteers, and there was a lot of things that I was participating in, competitions, etc. But towards the end of my career, I started to notice that I wasn't feeling fulfilled in what I was doing, and I couldn't understand. I was helping people, I was making a huge contribution, but there was something inside of me that just felt like I was picking up the pieces at the end. And even the dialogue in my own mind started to say, hey, I feel like a garbage collector here, like I'm just picking up the rubbish at the end and dropping it off at the hospital. And that feeling inside of me was really bizarre. So I started to look at what is actually going on for me. And I realized that all of these people, I actually really cared about them and knew that they didn't need to get to the point where they had gotten to that required emergency services. So I thought, okay, these people are at this critical point in their life where there is so many different steps that could have been taken before this, little tiny subtle changes that could have been made in their life that would have given them a totally different trajectory in their world. So one of the most common themes was that people don't deal with stress, where we don't have the same stresses that our parents and grandparents had. What used to take them a whole week takes us like 10 minutes in walking to the car on our phone. So we can do the mail, our banking, send a letter, we can connect with different people, we can engage in business activities from leaving your kitchen to getting in the car in that amount of time. You can do all of these different things that would have taken our ancestors like a week to do with different errands. So we're under so much more pressure and so much more demand in our life these days, but we haven't been given the tools and the resources to be able to manage this massive evolutionary change. And one of the critical points for me that I knew that I could do something about was helping people to develop a really healthy relationship with themselves. When you take care of yourself, then you have the capacity to take care of others. And when you and others are taken care of, the whole community starts to thrive. And so I looked at a whole bunch of different modalities that could help me achieve that, and kinesiology and neurolinguistics were two of those.
Wow, that's incredible. It sounds like you had this like revelation where, like you said, picking up the garbage, but you decided like to almost swim upstream and stop them throwing the garbage in. Almost getting to that point of like going further ahead of the game before it ends up in this kind of devastating trash-filled river in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool. So what are the main ways that you are empowering people to take total control of their lives? I mean, the book is a fantastic lead-in.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the book.
So the book was a spontaneous inspiration that came from an April Fool's joke.
No way.
Yeah. So I posted up that a Facebook message on the 1st of April at 6:30 in the morning that on 2017 that I was invited to do a presentation at the Awesomeness Festival, and I better get my book finished so I've got something available for everybody. And the response that I got ended up being so profoundly supportive that nobody called me on it being an April Fool's joke. And I had to sit back. By 7:30 in the morning, the day had only really just begun, and I realised the joke was on me. Everyone else believed in me and believed in something that I couldn't yet see. So I had to sit down and go, what would I write about? What is it that everybody can see that I provide, the essence of who I am, that is so valuable that they think that it's absolutely 100% possible without a doubt that this is an achievement that I could achieve, is to actually present at an Awesomeness Fest. What is my awesomeness? And so I sat down and I realised it was about emotional energy and about how to set intentions. I knew that it wasn't a what to do book, but a how to actually do these things book. So how to actually really get to know yourself, the emotions, the energy that flows through you, the ideas, the thoughts, the connection to us as a whole entire human being, and that includes our shadows. So I even have a chapter in there that's conversations with death. So I go quite deep into really establishing a powerful relationship with yourself.
Wow, it sounds incredible. So powerful. So when are you speaking at the Awesomeness Fest? Is that coming up soon?
It's coming up soon.
Vision, if
Waiting
you're
for
tuning
Vision.
in, send us an invite.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, cool.
I feel like I've got a bit of material to build up to demonstrate what's available, and I'm happy to wait.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, you've got a lot going on. You're multi-talented. You've got so many skills to offer the world through your kinesiology practice, through your writing, through you're also a life coach and guiding people one-on-one and in groups to be their best selves. Could you tell us more about that experience when you were traveling with Sunny Ray? And how was the experience traveling with Sunny Ray, a musician, working one-on-one daily in this life transformational period that it can be quite intense for a musician? I would imagine there's a lot going on, and having that support, being that support network for her, how was that for you, and what transformations did you see in that 2 months?
That's a great question, Shay. The transformations didn't just occur in Sunny Ray, of course, there were some in myself as well. Yeah. So the vulnerabilities that we both had to experience in being so intimately connected in a coaching environment, having her on stage and then having to be criticised, as well as me having to step into that, I need to be the voice for the things that she's not going to be willing to hear or not be comfortable with hearing, and then to nurture through that journey to reframe where she was to where she's heading, so she can step into progressively that person that she definitely wants to become, not just for herself but for her audience. She has a very, very high goal that she wants to achieve, and so nurturing each incremental step at the speed that she wants to go was a massive challenge. So there was a lot of intensity of energy, a lot of shifting, and a lot of actually letting go. So one of the key moments, which was such a beautiful experience, was her getting up on stage. It was a spontaneous event where it was just a jam session at one of the pubs over there in New Zealand, and she'd been invited to sing on stage, and so she said to everybody, today I've decided that I'm going to completely let go of professionalism and I'm going to step into my genius. And it was beautiful to witness, and then she started to just express her genius as a musician without any professional judgments on herself. And from that point forward, it was just beautiful watching her blossom and evolve and be willing to step into her genius from that point.
Amazing.
It was really amazing, really amazing.
That's really incredible, and from the sounds of the experience and from my own personal experience working with you as an acro partner, you have this incredible ability just to pull people into their most creative potential, their highest potential as a creative being within. I've really witnessed that at first hand, and it's so much fun more than anything. So tell us more about the book and the blank canvas. What experience can people expect from reading it? What transformation can they possibly gain from diving deep into these practices, and what is it all about?
So what it's all about, it says here, know your soul to discover your soul purpose. And a lot of people are like, what? I know my soul. But what we don't realize is, for example, when I was writing the book, I had to take everything of who I was and my infinite being and expansive self of my soul, and I had to take that and condense it into a physical form. And when we're receiving that for ourselves, all of that that's possible for us, it's like trying to squeeze something that's massive into a funnel that is this human experience. And a lot of creatives know what that feels like, and sometimes it can take you through a bit of a crazy stage and really unstable, and it's like, wow, you know, what's going on? And so the journey that I take people through is how to kind of widen that gap, to get rid of all the stuff that's kind of like plaque on the side that's making it an even tighter squeeze. So we get rid of all that we're not, that's taking up that space, and we're able to bring in all that we are. So the journey goes through, each chapter there's a concept to try on, a different perspective, you know, to have a look at in life. There's a meditation to take you on a journey. Yeah, there's an exercise that you can implement in life which helps you to clear out, to start your day with a blank canvas. Then the final thing is actually children's stories. So 12 chapters, there's 12 meditations, 12 exercises, and 12 children's stories. And each one of those stories is reinforcement for the concepts. So people can actually connect with themselves in the story, or they can read it to children, and children can ask questions, and they've already got the foundations to have a conversation with their children about the concepts. So one example in the book is I talk about negative thinking and how we judge ourselves, and we're like trying to cast out, and there's this phenomenon of don't think negatively, think positively. And to me that's quite a toxic belief, because the negative thoughts serve us, every emotion serves us. And so the story in there is about, it's the story bridge story. It's about a pessimist and an optimist. And the optimist is like, let's build a bridge. And the pessimist is like, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. We've all got this in a dialogue, you know? It's not good enough, and then the optimist improves it. The pessimist says it's not good enough, and it goes on and on like that. Until the optimist goes, hang on a second, this is never going to be good enough for the pessimist. I need to look at this from a different perspective. Is it safe? Do we have the resources? Is it possible? Yes. So he takes it to the pessimist and asks those questions. And the pessimist says, yes, yes, yes. And he goes, well, let's build a bridge. And so then, later, 75 years later, they're both in their nursing homes, they're looking out, and they're both smiling. And the optimist is smiling because he's looking at his bridge still standing, and he's grateful to the pessimist that helped him to improve it so much. And the pessimist is smiling. He's not looking at the bridge because he can continually analyze that. But he's looking at the optimist because he's really proud that the optimist took his advice, and they reflect on that. It takes an optimist to build a bridge, but a pessimist to keep it standing. Wow. So there's these concepts of, in life that we can run by, but the stories kind of help to see how that works in reality. Yeah.
I think it's so important to look at both the positive and negatives of life in its whole, and all the shadow aspects of our being. It's like, it's easy, like you say, just to look at the positives and live in this bubble of happiness and positivity without really acknowledging and reflecting on how the kind of darker sides or experiences and challenges in our life have really shaped us into who we are today. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that, and I'm really excited to read the book actually. So for all of our audience, where's the best place that they can find this book?
So you can find it online. It's available in hard copy and ebook, and you can also order it from me off my website, www.jaclynbraund.com or .com.au. I've got both. It's available Amazon, Kindle. It's everywhere. Internationally.
Click the link below, sign up, get it shipped to your house. So there you have it, guys. Jaclyn Braund, beautiful woman who's changing the world through her own creative endeavors, making the world a better place and helping all the people around her. She helped me today find more insight and discover more things about myself in the kinesiology session. Her book is already touched and gone to many homes. She's sold out of her first
3 orders.
3 orders already. So you guys don't want to miss out on this one. Get yourself a book, jump on her website, check out her awesome YouTube videos and get in touch with her. Maybe do some acro with her.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Let's play.
Step into your childlike nature. Thanks,
Awesome.
Jaclyn.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.